Peppa Pig, the big tale of little Peppa. Once upon a time, Peppa's best friend, Susie Sheep, came to play. "I've got something to show you," said Susie. "Look, it's me," said Susie. "You're not a baby, Susie," said Peppa, shaking her head. "This is an old photo," Susie explained. "It was taken when I was little." Peppa snorted. Susie was being very silly today. Susie pointed at Peppa. "In the olden days, you were a baby too," she said. "No, I wasn't," said Peppa. "Yes, you were," insisted Susie. "Ask your mummy." Peppa and Susie raced inside. Mummy Pig was working on the computer. "Mummy," cried Peppa, "Susie is making up stories." "No, I'm not," Susie said crossly. Peppa told Mummy Pig about Susie's silly idea that they used to be babies. "But you were a baby, Peppa," said Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig took a look on the computer. "Who do you think this is, Peppa?" Mummy Pig asked. Peppa thought that the baby looked a bit like her cousin. "Is it baby Alexander?" she asked. "No," replied Mummy Pig. "That's you as a baby, Peppa." Hee, hee. Susie and Peppa giggled. They'd never seen baby Peppa before. George and Daddy Pig came in to see what all the fuss was about. "Look, Daddy," said Peppa. "That's me as a baby." "I remember it," said Daddy Pig. "That photo was taken on the first day in this house." "What do you mean?" asked Peppa. Daddy Pig told Peppa, Susie, and George that they had moved into their house when Peppa was very little. "We brought all our things on the top of our car," he said. "Mummy Pig put some pictures up," said Daddy Pig. "Daddy Pig put up a shelf," said Mummy Pig. "And Grandpa Pig made us a lovely flower garden," she continued. Peppa and Susie went outside to see what Grandpa Pig's lovely flower garden looked like now. It had completely disappeared. "Daddy Pig looked after the flower garden," sighed Mummy Pig. Said Daddy Pig. "We had the wrong kind of soil for flowers." "Was Susie my friend in the olden days?" asked Peppa. Daddy Pig nodded. "Of course," he said. He. "You and Susie have always been best friends." Peppa wondered what games she played with Susie when they were little. "Did we jump up and down in muddy puddles?" "No, Peppa," laughed Mummy Pig. "You were babies. You couldn't even walk." "What did we do when we were babies, Mrs. Pig?" asked Susie. "You cried, you burped, and you laughed." Susie and Peppa burst out laughing. He. "Baby Peppa, baby Susie." "Then you grew into toddlers," continued Mummy Pig. "But where was George?" Peppa asked. "He was a baby in my tummy," said Mummy Pig. George looked very surprised at this part of the story. What a funny idea. Peppa thought for a minute. Daddy's tummy was even bigger than Mummy's. "Is there a baby in there?" she said. "No, Peppa," chuckled Daddy Pig. "This tummy is pure muscle." Mummy Pig said that after a little while, George was born, and she remembered the time that Granny and Grandpa Pig gave George a very special present. "Can you guess what it was, Peppa?" Peppa knew straight away. "Mr. Dinosaur!" she cried. "Goo, goo, grrr." Daddy Pig explained that Peppa and Susie didn't stay little for very long. They liked to jump, he, la la la, and dance, la la la, and run around all over the place. Snort, snort. "Then one day," said Mummy Pig, "you saw something amazing. A muddy puddle," Mummy Pig said. You love jumping up and down in muddy puddles. After Mummy and Daddy Pig's big tale of little Peppa, Susie, George, and Peppa ran outside into the garden. I still love muddy puddles. Splash! Peppa cheered and jumped into the biggest one she could find. Susie and George jumped in too. Daddy Pig went to find the camera. Let's take a photo of you now, he suggested. Peppa, Susie, and George did their best smiles. Click. Little or big, Peppa will always love jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Well, thanks for reading. Please subscribe. Peppa Pig, Baby Alexander, my first storybook. Today, Peppa and George's cousins are coming to visit. Wah! Wah! Baby Alexander makes a lot of noise. Hello, Peppa. Hello, George, Cousin Chloe shouts over her brother's crying. Wah! Hello, Baby Alexander, says Peppa, smiling. He can't talk, Peppa, replies Chloe. So how do you know what he wants? Asks Peppa. We guess, replies Uncle Pig. I'm guessing he's hungry. Why don't you feed him, Peppa? Suggests Auntie Pig. Here you are, Peppa says, holding out the spoon. But Baby Alexander turns his head away. Pretend the spoon is an airplane, says Auntie Pig. Here comes the airplane, cries Peppa. Whirr! Hooray! Baby Alexander has swallowed a mouthful. At bath time, Peppa says, Can you say dinosaur? Goo goo, says Baby Alexander. He still can't talk, Peppa, says Cousin Chloe. He will soon, replies Peppa. Then you'll know what he wants. Goo goo. Later, they take Baby Alexander out in his buggy. This is the sky, says Peppa. Can you say sky? Goo goo, says Baby Alexander. The sky is where the rain comes from. Can you say rain? Continues Peppa. Rain is good for making muddy puddles, Peppa explains. I love jumping up and down in puddles. Puddles, says Baby Alexander. Ooh! Everyone gasps. Alexander has said his first word, exclaims Auntie Pig. Puddles. Puddles. Ooh! Hooray! Puddles! Everyone shouts together. And I taught him to say it, says Peppa, proudly. Puddles, says Baby Alexander. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee. What a clever baby. Well, thanks for reading. Please subscribe. Don't miss our next story, Puddle Playtime. Have a wonderful day.